Jessie's girl. I wish I had Jessie's girl. Where can I find a suppressor like that? All right, I won't quit my day job. But we got a new suppressor here, guys. The new Jessie's girl from Resilient Suppressors. So this is the first time I've reviewed one of their suppressors here on the channel, and they are going to be at Suppress Fest. So first things first, as of this filming right now, there are 5 tickets left for Saturday, November 4th at Suppress Fest. Now it's a 2-day event. There is 198 tickets left for Sunday, November 5th. So you're probably gonna wanna head out and scoop up those tickets for Sunday, November 5th if you wanna be out there for Suppress Fest. We have a banger of a list of companies that have signed up to bring their suppressors and firearms to you guys for demo. Price includes entry and all ammunition all day. You get to shoot to your heart's content, and then typically at the end of the day, we do a charity raffle each day where we sell raffle tickets for $5 each, and then we raffle off a suppressor from each company. If it's a firearm company, typically we raffle off a firearm. So there are some crazy prizes, and that happens Saturday and Sunday. And then we give all the money that you guys raise during the event to charity. Charity this year, for donations, is going to be the American Suppressor Association. Like last year, I think we raised 12 grand last year, somewhere around there. Hopefully we can beat that this year, because they take that money and they use it to fight and lobby with for our suppressor rights. So pretty cool. So first things first, let's dive deep into Jessie's girl here. That sounded better. First things first, let's dive into First things first, let's cover the specifications here on Jessie's girl, and then of course we'll hit the range as usual and get down to business. All right, it ships with, of course, a decal that I just dropped, the manual, and a takedown tool that I have over here off frame. So, comes in at a overall length of 5.385 inches, a diameter of 1.06 inches, and it weighs in at 6 ounces even. Now it is a little hybrid here as far as the materials go, okay, as there's a lot going on here. They selected the best materials in their mind for the job to have strength where it's needed and save weight where it's needed. So, starting with the tube itself, it's constructed of titanium, and then the 1/2x28 mount area and the entire baffle stack is 17.4 heat-treated stainless steel, and then the end cap is 7075 T6 aluminum. So, pretty cool. Strength where it's needed, lightweight where it's needed, we're good to go there. As far as the finish, it's also a mix of a Type 3 hard coat anodizing and high temperature black Cerakote. The baffle stack, as you'll see in a second, is not coated, it's the raw stainless steel. And because of those materials, there are no barrel length restrictions, and this suppressor is rated for 22 long rifle up to 5.7x28mm full auto. So I assume they're talking about full auto 22 and full auto 5.7, which is pretty trick. Warranty is a limited lifetime warranty. I'll throw a little screen cap here of the actual warranty breakdown on their website. And then of course the retail price comes in at $449, so under the $500 mark. So now that we got the boring stuff out of the way, let's open this sucker up and see what makes it tick. You have a nice takedown tool, by the way, and one side corresponds with the rear, the mounting area, if you want to loosen that, and then the other side corresponds with the front cap with the flash hider built in. More on that in a second. But I just wanted to kind of stop and note, it's pretty cool that they water jetted their logo in here, because I can't tell you how many takedown tools I have in that closet. I have a tackle box full, and sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what this goes to, because a lot of the companies don't laser engrave them, so it's pretty cool that they cut their logo out into it. So it's little things. It's little things in life. So we'll use it to loosen the front cap here. And as I mentioned earlier, it does have a flash hider built in. Now, 22s typically don't the powder doesn't flash that much by the time it gets through an entire suppressor, but they probably just wanted it to look cool, and look cool it does. So as far as maintenance and cleaning, I'm not going to take off the rear mount area just because you really don't need to. So when you take the baffle stack out, and I'll show you some tight shots here, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 full-size baffles, and then a quarter-size baffle at the end. So we'll call it 10 baffles. Now, as you can see, heat-treated stainless steel, and on the front, you have which baffle type it is. You have A, B, and then the rest are all C's, and then of course you have that quarter baffle at the end. So that's to help with the orientation when you're reassembling the suppressor. One of the big things to note here is as it's assembled inside of this tube, it creates its own encapsulated baffle profile. So all that dirty, gunky lead and unburned gunpowder and carbon is not dispersing itself to the inner wall of the tube, making for a pretty difficult removal of the baffle stack down the road. So this should just slide right out because it's all sealed. You don't have that problem of an exposed baffle stack. So that's pretty cool. They didn't invent it, but they're using it. A lot of companies are doing that these days. So the first two baffles here, you'll see have the notch cut completely across, and then the rest are all just your typical setup there. Okay, so it's probably why they labeled them, so you don't get it wrong when putting it back together. So again, 10 baffles, and then if you look here on, I don't know if I took a tight shot of this yet, but you'll have to take my word for it. There are notches on these baffles. Okay, you can see right here. There's a little notch there. So that corresponds with the notch on the underside of the baffle. So this is A, I got B in my hand. You line them up and you'll hear it snap into place. So there you go. You can throw these in an ultrasonic cleaner with some solvent, let it run for a couple cycles, you're good to go. Again, when dealing with 22 suppressors, name of the game is just to clean it. Don't worry about getting it squeaky clean because it'll actually help the sound profile. So as far as reassembling, I always start backwards. So we'll line up that half baffle and then all the C baffles here, usually on a table. Once you get a couple going, you can line it up on a table here a lot faster. Here I'm snapping to place. It's normal to have just a little left to right movement there, and you're good to go. As far as point of impact shift, I would suggest every time you put it together, try to line up the notch with one part of the writing on the tube, so they're always oriented the same way. I'm going to line it up with the LLC on there, and then you're good to go. One thing to note before we wrap it up, they did engrave all of the serialized information, right, to protect your tax stamp at the very beginning here, and it is lateral to the threads themselves. So there's not going to be any catastrophic failure forward of that point, especially with a 22. So you're good to go. Your tax stamp is safe and short because they thought ahead. Use a tool, torque down the baffle stack enough to where it doesn't loosen under fire, and I believe we are good to go. I'm gonna grab a rifle, some pistols, and hit the range and see how it does. Before we get shooting, a quick word from our sponsor, Capital Armory. They're the nation's largest silencer dealer and have expanded their silencer shipping ability to multiple states, with even more on the way. They can still ship directly to Texas residents, but they can now deliver silencers directly to your door for those in many other states. The process is simple and keeps everything in-house. So there are no additional dealers, transfer fees, or headaches. They manage the entire process from start to finish to make your life easier. The process is very simple. Once you purchase a silencer online through their website, you'll be contacted to begin your online customer profile to provide them with fingerprints and other necessary information to complete your e-file Form 4. After the ATF approves your form, Capital Armory will initiate electronic transfer paperwork with you, and your silencer will be mailed directly to your front door. And the best part is, your customer profile only needs to be done once, so you'll be ready to go for all future orders. Head to capitalarmory.com today to learn more. All right, everybody, and that is Jessie's girl from Resilient Suppressors. Let's start things off with no noticeable first round pop. So anytime you shoot a rimfire suppressor, especially a muzzle mounted type, first round pop is always a topic that everybody wants to discuss and know about, and there was none that I could hear. Zero first round pop. From shots 1 to 10 at the end of the magazine, they all sounded exactly the same. Sounded good on the little Ruger SR22. Sounded even better on the Colt railgun. It had a very cool mechanical metallic sound to it. And then on the Beretta, it has a plastic frame, so it dulled that down a little bit, right? But you still had the longer 5-inch barrel. Hopefully you guys aren't getting too much wind here. I don't have my little sock on the microphone, so I apologize. I'm gonna try to put it inside my shirt. So longer barrel on handguns typically sounds a little better, especially because we were shooting the CCI standard velocity ammo. Well, I'll go back to that in a second. We're going to complete this real quick. So on the rifle, sounded good as well. All you hear is the bolt movement back and forth. We knew that would happen. But I would say out of all 4 hosts, the Colt railgun gets the nod from the coolest, like, just overall sound. Now, while I was shooting all day, I had enough CCI standard velocity to get all those scenes done over there closer, where the camera was closer, the microphone was closer to the shooting sequences. When I moved the camera downrange, I ended up running out of the standard velocity, but I had brought some old lot Freedom Munitions subsonic ammo. I'm like, okay, it'll sound pretty close. Definitely louder. So downrange with Jessie's girl, it was a little louder to me than when I was shooting the CCI standard velocity ammo when the microphone was closer to me. So keep that in mind. The recoil was way sharper. The slide movement was way faster. It was a little bit sluggish with the CCI ammo. It was just really sharp. So definitely a hotter loaded round, even though it said subsonic. It was without a doubt hotter ammo. I didn't have a chronograph here, but I can guarantee if I put the two head to head, the Freedom Munitions Hush 22 ammo is definitely running hotter than the CCI standard velocity. So just wanted you guys to know that at home, because you're going to be able to tell a difference, I guarantee it, on the microphone. Other than that note, it's a cool looking can. I mean, don't take my word for it. I'm not paid to tell you guys to buy this. You just make up your own purchase decision. I'm just one step in your journey of research on 22 suppressors or whatever suppressor you're looking at buying. So it's another reason why I developed Suppress Fest, so you guys can come out and actually hear these in person. And again, Resilient Suppressors will be there. This suppressor will be there, so you can hear it in person. November 5th is going to be your only option for that. I believe the first day sold out. Other notes here, the flash hider, kind of gimmicky, I think. It doesn't really do anything because it's a 22 can. It doesn't really flash. But it does set it apart as far as looks with the other 22 cans in the market, because nobody else has a flash hider end cap. So if you're down for that tactical cool look there, definitely take a look at that. But I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm just saying it really doesn't do much, I don't think, except look cool. Other than that, yeah, very substantial in the hands, has a good weight to it. You know, it's a can that you could buy and you know you can kind of just be a little rough on it, and you're not going to have to worry about it breaking or anything like that, or overusing it. It's just like a workhorse, should I say. Just feels good in the hand. So that is all I have. So take that for what it is, watch the review, research elsewhere, and make up your own mind on if the Jessie's girl fits your current collection. See you next time.